The Totalitarian Two-Step by Dennis C. Jansen, as read by Bonnie Jansen in Denver, Colorado. Here's the preface. On September 8th, 2006, Bill Maher, the American political commentator and television host, interviewed the prime murderer of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, on his HBO show Real Time, and asked Netanyahu the following question. Unlike America, Israel seems to be able to fight wars very quickly. What is your secret? Because we don't seem to have the hang of that. The prime murderer's response to his question was, "The secret is that we have America." His answer is easy to interpret but hard to grasp unless one understands the language of pure evilness. Basically, Israel uses American brainwashed, impressionable young men and women as pawns in a chess match to help fulfill its desire to achieve global domination. As disturbing as his answer is the fact that it is true. The last time Benjamin Netanyahu spoke to the joint houses of Congress in Washington, District of Criminals, D.C., as his friends know him, Benji, was greeted with the kind of applause you would expect to hear if the Beatles reunited. The elected American government officials gave him 28 standing ovations in 47 minutes. Many of these elected traitors will be voting in favor of resolutions to send young sheeple off to a military conflict that does not benefit their country of origin. Yet many of these brainwashed mercenaries believe that they are fighting for U.S. citizens' freedom and personal liberties. As President Johnson used to say, "Don't piss down my back and tell me it's raining." U.S. pride and patriotism have quickly dissipated since the unnecessary Vietnam conflict. Most mercenaries join the ranks to obtain free college tuition, yet there is no such thing as a free lunch. After their service in war or conflict, most are too rattled or ashamed of their service to go on and complete higher education. Additionally, many soldiers become deeply religious Christians and struggle with the fact that they chose their government over their God, and many are rightfully shamefaced of their poor decision. Perhaps this is why approximately 6,500 vets commit suicide each year. More than 70,000 Vietnam veterans have committed suicide. This is 11,780 more deaths due to suicide than the 58,220 killed in military conflict. Many veterans also struggle because they fell for the government's bait and switch and were lied into war. They thought they were performing a noble gesture, only to realize that the whole armed force is an evil scam after they completed their service. They are disappointed that they believed it was justifiable to kill someone they did not know because their armchair general said it was a noble gesture. Many female mercenaries struggle because they were sexually assaulted or raped by their brothers in arms. Almost 25% of active duty women were victims of sexual harassment in 2018, and 1 in 5 women who experienced sexual harassment was also sexually assaulted and or raped. The veteran deaths do not include the number of drug overdoses from addictions that many developed while performing their mercenary service. Approximately 85,000 soldiers returned home from the Vietnam conflict addicted to heroin, per the Pentagon statistics. Fast forward to the fake wars the U.S. is currently involved in, and the soldiers are addicted to Vicodin and Oxycontin. These opiates are heroin-like in pill form. The gateway to their addiction, is opened while serving in the military. In many cases, the pills were distributed due to an injury sustained while playing G.I. Joe. They return home to America addicted to the drugs, and their prescription from the VA doctor dries up. They move on to a cheaper opiate, which in many cases is heroin. From heroin, they transfer on to fentanyl, and then fentanyl, they move on to the morgue. The United Nations Human Rights Council is also investigating Netanyahu for crimes against humanity. These possible violations include, but are not limited to, Israel's terrorist actions at peaceful protests on March 30th, 2018, through December 31st, 2018, at the Gaza Strip located in Palestine. More than 6,000 unarmed peaceful demonstrators were shot by Israel military snipers week after week at the protest sites. The UNHR found rational grounds to believe that Israeli snipers shot at journalists, health workers, children, and persons with disabilities, knowing they were recognizable as such. The detectives detailed that there were reasonable grounds to believe that Israeli troops killed and injured Palestinians, who were neither directly participating in hostilities nor posing an imminent threat. These notorious acts took place under the strong leadership of Netanyahu. Did he deny the accusations? Nope. Netanyahu said more than 300 Palestinians have been killed near the border when they tried to breach the fence and abduct our soldiers. We have used force wisely and powerfully. As expected, nothing happened as a result of the investigation. No one in a high position of power in Israel or the United States of Israel, USI, goes to prison. Only common folk serfs are incarcerated. For these and many additional reasons, the author has decided to refer to America as the United States of Israel, USI, in this book.